Yo boys, we're back at it again. You guys know the deal. Today we are diving deep into the most aesthetic portion of the shoulder, which is the side delt. I know what you're thinking. Uncle Rommy, are you going to take off the pump cover? No, bro. I've already made this clear. I am Lebanese. My skin is made for being on farms. Large sums of sun, not just a little bit, a lot. To be honest with you, it's gotten to a point where it's like, now my skin is accustomed to it. But I'm going to show you guys how we warm up, how we get into it. The most aesthetic portion of the shoulder is the side delt. No doubt about it. The rear delts, in my opinion, are the most pivotal. Front is your power, but the side, in terms of aesthetic, it's what you're looking for. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys two movements that you're probably, one movement that you're aware of, but it's heavily demonized and not for good reason. Because if you guys know on this page, we have a very specific formula that we do. I'm not giving you guys a back, nice little back pocketer that you're going to toss over, get it done. This is going to be the formula that you should be executing your shoulders on, right? So on the first part of the superset, if you're new here, we superset, but we bias the same exact muscle back to back. Front end compound movement followed by an isolation exercise to take that muscle to complete failure. The compound movement I'm about to show you is a very controversial one amongst mainstream fitness. Everyone's terrified of it. Yeah, it's phenomenal. There's nothing to be scared of when it comes to an exercise, let's be real. But on the back end is going to be an isolation exercise that I know for a fact you're not doing. And if you are doing it, it's probably because, you're an OG of the page. And even on this page, I probably showed it on shorts, if anything, but definitely not in long form. So regardless, it's game time. But I know something? Instead of me blocking it out and then getting all the weights set up, I hear you guys. Listen, I listen to all the comments, every single one of them. I shouldn't say listen, I read. You get the point. But I agree. I think the clinging of the plates is quite clutch. Let's call it what it is. So let's get into it. Time to load it up. I am going to have to set this up though. Yep. Perfect. Uncle Rommy, when's the pump cover coming off? All right, bro, relax. Calm down. Calm down. Don't be a weirdo. That's good. That's perfect. All right, we'll start off on the first one. Let's get a nice feel out on this. This is going to be way too light. That could have been bad. That could have been awful. Let's see what we got. Just testing. You know what I don't like? I prefer doing these standing, but I got low ceilings because I'm a freaking giant. I'm really not tall at all. We just have incredibly low ceilings, man. And it sucks. Yeah. Oh, by the way, that's the movement. Behind the neck pressing. As I kind of load up this weight, because this is very, very light. Hold on, let me make sure the camera is solid. Can you see both sides? Oh my gosh. Clearly you can see both sides. Anyways, it is irritating a little bit not being able to do these I mean, bro, you kidding me with that sound? Get the hell out of here. Definitely have talked about this before, but the idea, you go to commercial gyms nowadays and everything is so silent. Like, dude, that's automatically, first off, let's be real. These are 25-pound plates, by the way. A lot of people ask, and I always forget to answer. But the 25-pound plates, funny enough, feel like the 45s at my commercial gym. It's very, very odd. I mean, it's also probably because this is my second training session in a day. I'm hitting the same exact muscle typically or something like it and just kind of doing cleanup work or doing videos for you guys, how much I love y'all. You're welcome. But let's test this out. If this is solid, we'll run with it. So with behind the neck pressing, a lot of times people think it's so dangerous, but it's stupid to think it's dangerous. The amount of muscle recruitment, and I love the mobility aspect of this exercise. And I think this is probably where people just get completely mixed up, man. Like, they think of things, it's a little bit light. We're going to go, yeah. Let's bump up the weight, dude. What are we doing here? But it's so irritating because people just don't use common sense, man. Like, That's part of the problem with everything being done. Dude, I get distracted from that sound. It's so nice. Anyways, but people get so hung up, man, like on just everything. Like they need a piece of paper to tell them how to live their life, to a point where it's like, come on, man, like use common sense. Obviously, if you feel pain in the area you don't want to feel pain in, and this is for those of you that have been lifting long enough to understand that, yeah, man, like, you know that there's a difference between, you know, like this hurts pain versus this is muscle growing pain. If you have like, feel like I'm sniffing at an injury, you probably need to do one of two things. Number one, most importantly, probably drop the weight. And number two, maybe you're going too much on the mobility aspect. Like, do you think just because you now know about mobility, you can go 0 to 100? It's the same exact thing as strength training. You'd never pull up to the gym first day doing a lift and say, yeah, load it up. I'm maxing out today. Unless you're an idiot. I mean, you're basically just like hoping for an injury. It takes time. You progress. First time you do it, you suck. Just like the first time you probably, if you guys, I don't know, play any instruments. I don't personally, but it's the best analogy I can use. Are you just going to get pissed like, I'm not good at piano after 3 minutes? Like, no. You know how stupid you sound by doing that? Like, take your time with this stuff. But that doesn't mean the exercise is, oh shit, man, we can't do this because people get injured. It's like people get injured off of regular bench pressing. Does that mean no one should be bench pressing? No, you probably should adjust your approach. Very, very simple stuff. That's one thing I think I see more often than not. That's why sometimes I tend to go a little bit more bro science-y. But I know my stuff very, very well. But there's plenty of places that tell you, listen, this study corroborates with this, and this study indicates this. Anyone can do that. But nobody is out here using their intuition, their gut instinct, their own line of defense where it's like, hey, man, like, I don't think this is working for me. Why aren't you doing those things? Like, at the end of the day, it's your playbook, your rules, your life. And by even just training in a way where it's like, I'm going to test things out, I'm going to try this, take inspiration and perspective from these studies or what people say. But the problem is 99% of that space is just copy. It's all groupthink. Like everyone's legitimately sheep. Oh, he said this and the study says this. That means it's fact. Not how it works. Not how it works. And you want to know something? I'm going to say this. I hate being this guy. But would you ever listen to someone that you wouldn't switch places with? I would never switch places with anyone. But you get what I mean? Like there's no source of inspiration where it's like, I really admire this about this person. I really appreciate how this person does this. Like I said, there's a rhyme and reason to everything. But at the end of the day, it has to be your playbook. That's it. Training is a tool to make the hard shit easy in life. I don't know how we went from, talking about the most aesthetic portion of the shoulder to this. But this is what you get with this channel. I just absolutely go off for no reason. Anyways, come on, boys. It's game time. You want to know something? Let me give you a better angle. Let's do that. All right, I'm feeling that. I think that's solid. Isn't she lovely? Pump cover time. Off. Boys, what's step 2? By the way, how are we looking? We looking all right? Looking decent? Jesus, I feel like the skin is a bit dry. We already talked about the whole cold thing. I don't revisit old stuff. We burn the past. Tomorrow could wake up and it could be warm. Odds of that are nothing, but that's how we think. All right, behind the neck pressing. As I told you, common sense, right? Come in like this. I personally can instill more mobility, so I can actually, even if I want to, I can sink a little bit further back, elbows kind of locked in, and then shoot up. You probably can't do that. In the beginning, you might only feel comfortable going here. That means you stop there, and then you shoot up. And this isn't an exercise to go uber heavy on, even though this is a bit heavy for behind the neck pressing. But it's just because, I don't know, I didn't really go heavy on behind the neck presses earlier. And like I said, this is my second training session of the day, so it's just more so just touching up weak spots. You wanna know what I'll do? Because I love y'all. We'll drop the weight. Quick little drop setty. Not here to play games, boys, at all. I love tossing weights like that, man. All right. Superset time. All right. You're probably familiar with lateral raises, which if you're going to do them, I like coming out like that, but it's not what I'm here to show you. I'm showing you guys the isolation exercise as promised from earlier. If you've managed to still not click off this video after my rant, you know, I appreciate you being here. So obviously, under promise, over deliver. But instead of me coming out like this, right, which there's nothing wrong with lateral raises, please understand that. This is simply a variation you can use. I love variations because variations, as you guys know, any exercise has its own unique advantages, right? You can have two exercises that target the upper chest, but they might do things just a little bit differently. Even though they're stimulating the upper chest, every exercise has that unique advantage over the other. What I like to do is instead of me stopping at my hips, I actually come behind the ass and then I raise up. Just like that. And what I like about it is it's almost like figures out the direction for you. And the pump is gnarly. And I know, pump doesn't indicate muscle growth, bro. Please get off the video and get off my page. But when you come back like this, you actually feel a stretch very similar to cable. Especially if you guys don't have cables, like you feel that stretch coming back to be able to touch. And yeah, for sure, I'm protruding out my hips a little bit. Nice little thrust, right? Not purposely. But you have to kind of come back like this. But I try to do is try to keep my body as straight as possible and force my hands to do the touching. The dumbbells to do the touching, which as a result forces you to get a little bit more mobility on those shoulders. And then I pop out just like a normal lateral raise. Just a little bit of extra ROM. And then partials. Come on, man. That superset is quite literally like, my goodness, it's so nasty. It's so nasty with the behind the neck pressing followed up with this. Your shoulders, you'll feel them. Like they start to explode. Like you can feel them growing even mid-set. Unbelievable. And what's funny is I know that this exercise gets probably a lot of shit. We just do regular lateral raises, bro. Behind the neck pressing. Bro, you're going to injure your shoulder. Good luck pressing after you're 30. Fools. All of them. Which is fine because guess what? I'm going to keep my gains. Us natties are going to absolutely mop the floor with the rest of these cats. And we're going to do so without compromising basically my death rate. Ain't going to die early. Going to stay healthy. And plus, when you do it the real way, the natty way, it stays on. That's why you see a lot of people who roid up and they look like a wet sack of fucking oatmeal afterwards. You know what I mean? You see like they've got like that skin that just droops. And it's because it's not natural. So your body, once you're off, probably going to sag out. You get what I mean? That's why I would never, literally in my life, I won't ever take steroids. Even the whole TRT thing after 40. You know, maybe things change. Maybe in my head it's like, well, technically it'll actually extend out your life. Or no, actually that's fucking cap. I'm absolutely not doing that shit. I'm going to have the T levels of a young man when I'm 60. And people are going to be like, dude, there's no way. That's impossible, bro. There's no way you're natty. Anyways, to be honest with you, I kind of want to rip another set. So, you know what? Oh, yeah. That's absolutely butter. Baby. Oh, yeah. Feeling absolutely fantastic right now. That pump is beautiful. And what I love about it, like I said, there's a mobility aspect to everything. A lot of people, when they talk about, man, I want my mobility to be great, and they think they need like these fancy sequences. It's quite literally like most mobility that's going to do the most for you without even having to think about it much is learning how to go fuller ranges of motion on the exercises you're already doing. That's going to move the needle for you, believe it or not. Learning how to extend out on a press and coming all the way back down, like learning actually full range, sinking deeper into stretches, coming out completely. That makes an injury resilient body. That's when you talk about injury resilience, that is injury resilience, because you've tapped into all these muscles that get no time of day. The muscles required to go from here to here are very different than the muscles required to go from here to here, which means you're leaving a lot on the table. And it's more metabolically expensive, which means you're burning more calories. Those aren't real, but regardless, we're not here to talk about that. Point is you're burning more energy. Bada boom, bada bang, man. Like, it's so funny. Most of the answers are what is the most annoying thing to do and just doing it. Full ROM is not fun. You have to drop your ego at the door, especially if you're doing full ROM squatting versus like just trying to go 90. Oh, dude, the ego check you have, like you have to go so much further down in weight and start from the beginning. That's way harder to do, especially amongst people that are kind of comfortable with their gym routine. But that's the key. That's part of the reason why right now I'm trying to learn how to jump in terms of like actually get up and yam on a 10-foot hoop. It is absolutely humbling. Right now in my head, like I can barely grab rim. My fingertips. In my head, I'm like, Jesus, I'm just like a fat sack of shit. That's what you're telling yourself. But it forces you to check your ego, constantly having to push the limits and having to humble yourself. That actually tends to carry over with my lifts. Same idea. You want to know something? I was going to end the video, but I'm going to give you guys one more set because we haven't done a long video in a while. And I feel like we can kind of chill out for a little bit. Maybe this is something you guys enjoy where it's like, Rommy, give us the longer videos. Because honestly, longer videos for me, it's the same thing as doing 7 minutes. Because like the first couple minutes are uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, but like you're getting in the rhythm of talking to yourself essentially. But now I feel like you guys are actually here. So like I kind of enjoy it from here. And we'll test it out. Maybe you guys are like, Rommy, I've spent way too much time with you on YouTube. Let's just, let's cut it short, huh? I'll be like, all right, cool. Unc's cool with that. You think I'm playing games? I'll give you guys a better angle, like I said. Psh, give you guys a better angle on this. You know what I mean? So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Screw it. I'm going to stay at the same weight. And that way I can show you guys more mobility. I'm not cowering out, okay? I actually think it'd be more beneficial to show you guys at a lighter weight what I kind of do. Like I said, I do prefer these standing, right? Much more. Like if you have the opportunity to stand and do these, you stand and do these. What I do is almost like a squat stance, just like if you wanted to get into good squatting position. Some people stay a little bit tighter, but just go a little bit comfortable. Whatever's comfortable for you, just enough to really, really lock it in. That's it. And then from there, you should feel your traps firing off. And then it's just as simple as pressing. I come. You don't have to go death grip, but come on, dog. I'm about that life. Some people aren't. That doesn't mean the gains are any worse. But you can see you don't have to go this deep. But as you get more comfortable with this movement, that is a way for you to instill a little bit more stress to those muscles because it's a new range that you're not accustomed to doing. But I'm also acclimated to this. Common sense. I'm not doing this first day. Because if I was, then I would probably be stopping right here. And then coming up. That's it. Boom. Superset time. And you guys know behind the arch raises. Oh, come on, you piece of shit. All right. This is why you guys wonder, why is he going to the side? Is he trying to show off his deltoids? It's a positive, but no, it's because as you can tell, I'd be smashing the dip part right there. Yep. There it is. You don't have to cling them. It's just kind of fun to do. I actually think once you get comfortable with these, in the beginning, cling just because it'll kind of help you find the rhythm a little bit. But as long as you are coming back to feel a stretch, that's the best way to do it. Just found these bands. This isn't part of it, but those could be nice. Those are way better. Anyways, game time. Yep. Boy. you know, I was going to go on a little bit of a rant, but I feel like I did that enough. Maybe save it for the next video. Give you guys something else to, you know, ponder on, something to think about. But at the end of the day, understand it is your formula. It is your playbook. All I'm trying to do is open up your perspective to that. That's actually what I even do. Like whenever I hear people being like, you have to adopt my model because my model works and yours is shit. I might have a better model than basically most people, but it's about taking parts of my model or how I do things or how I live my life, maybe, whatever, and implementing it into your life where you see fit. You're the judge. Like, do not forget this. Just because I'm showing you something doesn't mean you have to copy and paste. I'm just sharing you what I think. These are my goals behind what I do. There might be some people who are like, I wouldn't want anything that this guy has. In which case, why are you listening to me? And if I do have things in your head, you're like, Unc, you know, God help me, but I like you, you know? Cool. Follow through with that. You know what I mean? Like, then start taking those little nuggets of things that I say and apply them to them. You might hear me say things that you find stupid. Don't listen to that part. You get what I mean? Like, it may not work for you. Just because I'm saying something doesn't mean you just blindly in your head like, all right, that's what I have to do. I just give you, based on my life, what I've learned, regardless if it's like a car talking video. If you're new here, I do a lot of car talking videos as well, but a lot of workout videos, obviously. But all I do is share my perspective on things that I wish I would have learned a lot sooner. But a lot of my issues was thinking that everybody else knew better than me and I didn't know anything in my life. You know, like I was so stupid, I'm young, and especially when you're younger, but even when you're older, a lot of people don't grow out of it. They think in their heads everyone else knows better than them. And that is the worst way to live your life. I'm telling you this from someone that used to think everyone else knew better than him. And now I genuinely believe in my head that I know basically better than everybody else. Not in terms of superior, not a superiority complex, but the point is I have what it takes to learn everything I need to learn. And I can tell, like, I use my own judgment. Does this piece of information agree with my insides? And then I use gut instinct to be like, I agree with what he's saying. It feels right. In which case, I will listen and I'll take that perspective and I'll try to apply it to what I'm doing. And if I don't feel it inside, I just trust that my subconscious will tell me, you know what? That ain't for you. Trust, man. You have to learn to trust yourself. But anyways, I appreciate you guys being here and I hope this is well worth your time. As usual, boys, if there's anything you're looking for specifically, you drop it down in the comments, and if other people see those comments and you like that, give those thoughts. Did I really just stutter just now? Like a loser, I just stuttered. Like an absolute loser, I stuttered. What the hell was that? What I meant to say was if you guys see those comments down below, give those a thumbs up. And that way I can look at it and be like, oh, this thing has 10 thumbs up. I should probably make a video on this. And that way I'm giving you guys things you guys actually enjoy. Anyways, as always, y'all, real talk, man. I love y'all very much. Uncle Rommy out. Peace.